Independientemente, cada artista del grupo también trabaja independientemente. Tienes tu trabajo individual, pero a la vez también trabajas con la gente que lo reconoces como grupo, entonces es bonito.
I feel like I really connected with the group, with the collective, was at the museum, Portland Art Museum.
And I worked with them for the Portland Art Museum.
En el mural de Frida Kahlo fue la colaboración en equipo.
En 2020, de unirnos más. Artistas estaban preguntando a William, preguntando a mí qué es lo que va a pasar, qué es lo que estamos haciendo o cómo vamos a salir de esta pandemia. Ayudar a los artistas, no solamente latinos, pero el arte en Portland. ¿Qué es lo que va a pasar? Nos habla el Portland Art Museum que necesitan hacer algo.
We were invited by the Portland Art Museum to actual paint in the museums.
For Mexican modernism, we had 2 different artist groups, artist collectives in residence, and they were live painting of a mural in our Schnitzer courtyard.
That beautiful big wall inside of the Portland Art Museum.
No nos dijeron específicamente qué. Ellos querían un mural, no nos dijeron el tamaño.
It was one of the biggest murals so far that I had worked on. There was a total of 8 artists.
Another big piece of this was we wanted the artists to decide what they were going to paint. Both artist groups, kind of left those meetings and went back to work together.
Almost right away, we started coming up with ideas. We went to the museum as a group and we did the tour. So that's what gave us the idea. On one side, it's more of the spiritual side, and we added a lot of elements from Mexico. And then on the other side, we had our interpretation of the Pacific Northwest, so a lot of greens, a lot of nature, but also adding a little Mexican culture to it. Frida and Diego coming to the Pacific Northwest with that spiritual energy.
Frida and Diego are visiting from the underworld, because that's, for us, our dead kind of live in the underworld. Frida and Diego were going to travel through this portal, and then they were going to visit the Northwest.
I think the really special part was that they were able to work with the public there to talk about their work as a collective and to be able to talk about the work that they're doing, what the influences behind the murals.
La retroalimentación de ideas entre artistas es algo que aprendí mucho.
There was obviously a lot of people coming in and out of the museum.
Through a month and a half, so all of the visitors went to the exhibition, but also witnessed artists live working the murals.
For the most part, I think people are just genuinely curious about how painters turn a blank something into something beautiful.
Sometimes we sounded like broken recorders because they would ask the same questions over and over.
Like a visitor would always come up and ask, is this going to stay up forever? Like, can this stay here?
It's mostly like, what are you guys doing? And it's like, well, we're painting. But
The IDEAL artists were so open to engaging with visitors and then especially with students in my area. And then they would also participate in an art making workshop for the students to get to come in, see this amazing art by Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. We're creating this mural to get to hear about the process of painting, meet these artists in the Portland community, and then for the students themselves to get to be artists. I hear all the time from students and also from educators that it means so much for students to see themselves in the artwork that's on view.
And so many people saw this.
Yeah.
It's one of the largest shows that the Portland Art Museum has ever hosted in its 130 years. So every artist that was part of the mural project should be really proud. I think they made a huge impact on a lot of people in this community.
What happened during all those months when we have all the visitors coming, and every day the question was, what is
going to happen to the murals? I know.
It's like a little bit of sadness in that, this thing that we really built a lot of energy around is now gone and it's dismembered and we don't see it again.
Well, funnily enough, now that this project is going on, they're going to end up in the same building, the mural from the museum.
When I saw what they did with IDEAL to commission artwork, I knew right away that I wanted to see that in La Plaza.
Cuando yo entre a Latino Network, a la Plaza Esperanza, voy a ver ahí mi corazón ahí plasmado. Eso es lo que significa ver. Frida Kahlo y Diego están aquí en la Plaza Esperanza. Mi corazón va a estar ahí.
My heart is in the wall, on the wall.
On the wall.
So,
My heart is there.
I imagine walking through the doors into La Plaza Esperanza and being greeted by the beautiful mural of Frida and Diego and all that it represents for our community here in Portland.
La Plaza is a big dream for our community. It's been a big dream for decades. The IDEAL team accepted the request from us, and what we asked was listen to the community.
Jessica presented a few ideas that some of the folks from the community had shared.
The main idea at first was to do all animals. Since there are 4 different ones, the macaw is going to be on the main wall and it's going to be able to be seen from far away.
Images, cultures of Mesoamerica, the Mexica culture or the Teotihuacan culture.
We wanted to have something representing kids, bring in some of nature, culture, and play into it.
but that is helping the kid to reach the goal, to achieve that with this gigantic butterfly.
Jessica and Willie, they were like, I think you should have people. They wanted culture and community, and I was like, yeah. So I had to add the people. This is the one I was thinking of for the kids. I hope they can see themselves in the painting, playing with their classmates, sharing. The other panel that I'm doing with the lady and harvesting cempasúchil.
One of the references that I think one of the students had chosen of a ceremony. I saw that one, I'm like, yeah, that's something that I can do. To me, this is somebody that's walking a healing path.
The quetzal, it's a very emblematic bird from Mexico. We wanted the colors and diversity of the cultures.
The idea a little bit includes bringing or adding a few more etchings to the piece.
The heart was very special to create for me. All of them were, but the heart is really important because what it symbolizes. Everything with a good intention, with a good purpose comes from the heart.
Man, my hopes that it inspires upcoming artists, seeing a piece like that and knowing that people that look like them made this piece.
Hay gente que se siente sola, hay gente que necesita esto y el otro. Y a veces el arte pues, es la medicina para poder pues, sanar todas esas heridas, ¿no? Digamos.
One of the things that I enjoy the most is sharing with children. They learn by seeing what you're doing. So us getting all these opportunities, that's all they need to see. They need to see that happening.
We need more art out in the world. I mean, it's awesome that Latino Network is prioritizing showing artists in their new space. They could do a lot of different things. We need to do more of that. Yeah. Like, if the world had more art, I think the world would be a way better place.